Christmas and welcome to Pause for Peace. It's January 4th, but it is still just the 11th day of Christmas. So your true love should have sent you by now 11 pipers piping and all the other stuff that you're supposed to get during these 12 days of Christmas. I hope you've been having a wonderful Christmas season. And on this second Sunday of Christmas, we often reflect upon those stories of Jesus' parent, his father, Joseph, who is a dreamer. If Mama Mary is a mystic, Father Joseph is a dreamer. Which, if we know our biblical history, we should know that, the namesake Joseph is a dreamer himself who finds himself going to serve the Pharaoh in Egypt. Because he is able to work with his dream symbols, he is able to help people understand what God is trying to say to them through their dreams. And according to the Gospel of Matthew, Joseph is having this dream, being warned by the wise ones that come from the east, these magi, these really sages that come from the east to greet this child. And Joseph and the wise ones, they're being warned by their dreams to make sure that they protect this little child. When we start digging into the Gospels, when it's telling about these stories of Jesus at his earliest years, we start hearing all these names that for most of us mean nothing. As Western Christians, we don't really even know, Quirinius and Herod and all of these people. Were who are all these people? Why does it matter? Why it matters is because Jesus is born into a world where he is actually perceived as a tremendous threat to the empire. Jesus is born in the line of King David. Also, his mama is connected to the priestly line of Aaron. This is somebody who's here to shake things up. I mean, this is the one the prophets have been telling us about, the one that we have been rehearsing all throughout the season of Advent, hearing about this one who is going to come as God makes this way, this new thing that God is doing to bring about this shalom, this amazing world that will be a place of pure love and peace for all. If this is Jesus, of course, Herod is threatened. He thinks he's the one who knows how to do this all through might and force and manipulation. And this is the clash that's going on with this baby being born that's here to show us the way of pure love, and this empire that's as nation building always goes, manipulation, force, all of those things that clash with this sense of pure love. Joseph listens to his dreams. He heeds the wisdom of the wise ones, and he takes Jesus out of there. He's we got to go. We got to pack up and head to another place. Now, in this story, if we knew our biblical history, we would know that Joseph is leading Jesus back into the land where his namesake was, in Egypt, where his people became enslaved by the Pharaoh, the empire, who once again was trying to take over and use force and manipulation and all those things that are actually against the way of God. Joseph is taking this beautiful little precious child into the land where his ancestors were enslaved. But he is doing so because he trusts the way and the words of the prophets. He trusts that God made a way, that his people were freed. Liberation came for them. God, according to the stories of the Bible, God mysteriously makes this way. And the prophets tell us again and again and again, this is how God works. Force, manipulation, might, lording over others is never going to be what wins in the end. God's way is the way of pure love. And this is what Jesus comes to teach us. To be in flesh in our own physical matter. To show us that we can be those who seek to live in this way of pure love. Now I have a candy cane with me today because I've actually been pondering in these last several days the meaning of the candy cane. Like, I guess some people think it's like a shepherd's crook that kind of reminds us that like Jesus comes from this line of David, or maybe you think about like the candy cane is there because the shepherds come according to the story, and like the sheep are there at the manger with the little baby. And I also have been thinking about like the candy cane is incredibly distinct, at least like the traditional candy cane. It's got the white and the red, and like this one is maybe not the best example, but like the white and the red is like mixed together. It's like in this little symbol, we can see the like elixir of what it means to be a human being, like the holy opposites that come together in us. Often in like traditional symbolism, the red of the candy cane or the red of like the holy opposites will symbolize the sacred feminine, and the white actually symbolizes the sacred masculine. And these two holy opposites come together, they're intertwined, and like a whole new thing is like created in this like beautiful candy cane. And I'm thinking about the candy cane reminding me about how Jesus is coming to be like the one that shows us in flesh that we also have this like breath of the divine in us, that we are the integration of the holy opposites of human and divine. Now, I know for a very long time in theology, this has been something that sounds incredibly heretical, especially those who are in this line of the Presbyterian Church USA, where we come forth from John Calvin. And John Calvin in his day and age had such an emphasis on how we're like flesh is totally corrupt. And I understand like the theology of all that, the history of all of that. And I'm also inspired by a contemporary theologian, Andrew Harvey, who tells us that like the moment of the 21st century, like the ethos, the thing that we all need to understand is something that Celtic Christians have kept alive for a very long time. So theologians like John Philip Newell, who you know I love, have reminded us that like the spirit of the age is the spirit of divinization. And what Andrew Harvey means by that, it's this like coming back to this understanding that we are human, and yes, our like flesh can lead us astray if you want to use that kind of language. But what the moment is for us now is to realize like we are this incredible integration of human and divine. Like the Spirit of God lives in us. This is actually what Genesis from the beginning is trying to teach us, that like we are matter that is infused with the breath of God. This is the original theology of the scriptures until empire got in there and like wanted to mix it all up, because empires always want to mix it all up, because if empire can teach us that we are like enslaved to their ways, then we will not be able to be these free human beings that will be about this movement of pure love. That's why something as simple as the candy cane this Christmas is so important, to keep us in this space of remembering like we are here to become these free beings who understand ourselves as flesh, that is an amazing gift, and as the Spirit of God alive in us and alive in all living things. Check out Andrew Harvey's work this like month or two, it's coming up, his new book on the Sacred Feminine, Mary Magdalene. Very excited about this book being released, I believe in February. And like, let's just pause for a little bit of time right now to like let it settle in us that we are the integration of the holy opposites, just like the candy cane. So if you'll take a moment, get yourself well grounded here, take a deep breath, deep in the belly, hold it before you release it. And one more deep breath. Hold it before you release it. And let it like settle into your heart and even deeper into your being. That you are this like incredible being, this divine child. We celebrate the birth of Jesus because Jesus shows us who we are. He's here to remind us and wake us up to who we are as well. That we are these incredible beloved children of God. So one more deep breath, and even like remembering that the breath is what Genesis in the First Testament tells us is given to us by God, the breath of life breathed into matter, so that this amazing thing called a human being comes into being. And let it settle deep within. Maybe even setting that intention for the year that lies ahead, that this will be the year that you grow a little bit deeper in your understanding of like your divinization, of you being this incredible elixir of flesh and spirit. See if you can have every cell of your body aware of that. And then as you take another deep breath, see if you can like allow that to imprint upon yourself. Maybe even notice in your system where you're experiencing that integration of being this breath of life and this flesh, this matter of the earth. And if you will give some form of inward gratitude for this experience, even if it's just a new awareness today of what like this amazing miracle of Christmas is all about, this like story about Jesus being born. Like, why is this even important? It's important so that we know who we ourselves are and that we can be these ambassadors of pure love everywhere we go. Even if we slip now again, we again can come back to our breath and we can be reminded that we are the holy integration of the opposites. Thanks so much for being here today. I hope you have a wonderful 11th day of Christmas. Get ready for the 12th day and Epiphany and the season that lies ahead. Blessings, and I'll see you next time on Pause for Peace.